I recently did this video about 3 things that are going on that we've come to just kind of accept as though they're just normal. And they're bad things. They just aren't right. I'm talking about excessive spam calls, horrible customer service, and ageism. Multiple videos I could do on each of those. But the thing is, the comments that came in from the people watching my video helped me to realize that it's not just these big things, but tons and tons of little things that are going on and have just gradually seeped into our lives. And they're quite irritating. We are dealing with so many little things day in and day out that we don't even notice them anymore. So I want to talk about just some of the little things that were brought up in these comments that I think are fascinating and have just come to shape and inform the way we move through life every day. What is going on with tipping? I'm a big believer in tipping. After all, my mom was a waitress at a small town restaurant when I was a little bitty kid, and I was taught that you're supposed to tip for good service. In fact, tipping began as a way to show appreciation for really good service. What is it now? It's everywhere. And now you walk up to place your order at one of those fast casual restaurants. You stand there and you place your order, and then they spin the little thing around and you have to make a decision. What percentage do I tip, or do I leave a custom tip? So then, after you tip for the food that you have not received yet, you go gather up your own utensils and your napkins and you go create a place to sit. So far you've received no service other than someone taking your order. Sometimes not even that. Nowadays you can order at a kiosk, especially at an airport, and it still asks you for a tip with no human interaction whatsoever. What am I tipping? The programmers? So then they call your number and you get up and you go pick up your food and bring it back to your table. Again, you're doing all the work. I guess I missed the memo on when this became normal. And it's not just food places anymore. These little tipping machines are finding their way into everything. Somehow it felt a little better when it was a tip jar, I don't know, rather than just asking you to put additional fees on your credit cards. And it happens even with delivery services where there's already a delivery fee. I might go in to order a pizza, and the pizza's going to be $14.99. Then they got a $5 delivery fee, and then you got tax, and then you got to tip the driver, or you feel like an idiot. So then you're looking at, what, $25 for that little pizza. I want to just mention a little something about taking care of our healthcare visits and what all's involved in that. I'm not even talking about the massive healthcare problems that we have in this country. I'm not talking about trying to deal with insurance and figuring out what we actually pay. No, I'm talking about the little things. When you go to the doctor's office, the first thing you're greeted with is signs plastered all over the door. Do not use your cell phone in the lobby. Really? Well, I wasn't going to, but still, it just kind of sets the wrong tone for service. Besides, what about people just talking loudly in the lobby? Isn't that just as bad as being on your cell phone? Or the signs that say, you're responsible for payment prior to your appointment. You must pay your copay before you see the doctor. There's just signs and just a vibe that's not about serving you as a patient. You may get great medical care, but medical care is no longer about customer service, that's for sure. Take a look at this example. I like getting text reminders about my appointments, but it's never just that. This is the 3rd time I've confirmed. Then they tell me to arrive 15 minutes early to complete tasks. But we need you to check in now, again, and answer all the questions again, even though nothing has changed. Take another photo of your insurance card. Now check whether you have a cough or a runny nose, etc., even though you're still a few days away from your appointment. I understand COVID happened. We can't come in sick. But I will get this again the morning of my appointment. And if I don't complete it again, ironically, they will hand me the Germy tablet to check in on. Then after arriving 15 minutes early, I get to wait for at least 30 minutes to see my doctor. Let's talk about how much fun it is to try and cancel things. You know all those subscriptions that we sign up for and they keep billing us because we keep forgetting to cancel? And it's funny how those very sophisticated companies have these beautiful websites, but they can't figure out how to put that cancel button anywhere that we can find it. Right. Fortunately, the FTC passed a rule in 2024 called the Click to Cancel rule, meaning it has to be just as easy to cancel something as it is to sign up for it. But guess what? The courts blocked that rule from taking effect in 2025. Now, I have noticed it's gotten a little better though, and they say that's because the FTC is still placing lawsuits against some of these unfair trade practices. And some states have passed their own click to cancel rules. So I think there has been some progress. So I decided that for this video, I would check to see if there was anything I needed to cancel. I need to do that anyway. And sure enough, there was a charge on my credit card for $39.99 for a car wash membership. And I vaguely remembered signing up for that when the attendant was so good at selling it to me and convinced me it would pay for itself because after all, the first month was free. So I figured, hey, why not? I'll just cancel after that first month. Kiss of death, right? But just as they'd planned, I forgot to cancel my unlimited car wash membership. So I found my way to the website to cancel. Pretty easy to navigate to manage memberships and billing. I saw my membership, but it said $22.99 a month. I double-checked my credit card statement, and sure enough, I was paying $39.99. I got to just cancel this. Then the webpage said that if I joined at an actual location, which I did, I would need to add my membership manually. Because how could I cancel it if it wasn't even set up on the computer? So I had to go out to my car and get the member number off the windshield so I could link my membership. I hit reactivate, and again, my membership showed $22.99. Now, why was I paying $39.99? I do not know. I messed with it for another 15 minutes and decided I would just go in person to the car wash to figure it out. At least I'll get my car washed once before I cancel. It's incredible, isn't it? The number of things on a daily basis that we're just inundated with that make things more complicated than they really should be. Have you gotten to where you don't even expect to get a straight answer about most things anymore? Let's say you're having a problem with your printer, so you call technical support if you can find a number. First, of course, they're going to try to send you the website to fix the problem, which you can't. Call centers today are staffed with people from all over the world who are dealing with multiple products and companies. There's no way they can know the product that they're trying to support. Instead, they read scripts. So after I go through the extensive phone tree and perhaps find someone to talk to, then, bear with me, I'm going to read this. After I tell them what my problem is, I'm getting an error message on my printer and they're going to begin reading their script. And I only do this to you, my viewers, because I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hello, ma'am. I completely understand how frustrating it is when you are experiencing a problem with the printer that you have with us. I am certainly able to help you get this sorted out today. Just give me a moment to pull up your account details so we can find a solution together. Please just let me know your name and model number of the printer. I had to write all this out because you know what I'm talking about. So I give my information and they come back. Thank you for giving me that information, ma'am. Now I will just need to place you on a brief hold for a few minutes while I can work to resolve your issue. Okay, so this goes on and on and on. And we know that very seldom do you actually get a solution. And we just come to accept this. That's just our life now. It's no wonder a lot of us are at our wits' end half the time because we don't even notice it. It's like a frog in boiling water. It has just started years and years ago, and it's gradually built up to every day. Everything we do is just weird now. Another comment I got, what about when you get something that you have to assemble or learn to operate, from a piece of furniture to a coffee pot? Don't you love when you're assembling a desk or something and you realize that the instructions were written for any number of different desks? Everywhere we go, cost-cutting measures by big companies make things harder for the customer. And then there are user guides, same problem, and way too complicated. If this is the quick start guide, I'd hate to see the slow start guide. And more than half of it is warnings, the stuff the lawyers put in, like 7 pages to tell you not to stick a fork in the toaster. And over time, we just get tired. I would love to hear from you. What are some little things that are just so annoying that we've come to accept as normal? And tell me, what can we start to do about this? I think the point of this video is to start being more intentional about the things that we're putting up with and to notice them and figure out if there's anything that can be done to stop this madness. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Getting Older and Growing Bolder, where we talk about the good, bad, and the ugly about this thing we call aging.